Hey guys, so how's everyone doing? I hope you're well. This probably be boring, so I thought I'd shoot a commentary over it. Um, we'd shown this saw when I shown the collection, and take note, I have more saws than that. There was a couple still there in the shop I forgot to show, but it is what it is. We'll get into that again one of these days, but this was the little 034. This is just an 034 AV. It's one of the older ones. Has the front chain adjuster on it. We are cutting hickory that had been felled back, I guess, in the summer. It's late summer, early fall. I don't really remember. It's still hot out, but I've got this set up 325, 16-inch bar. I know someone's going to say I'd like to see it the long bar or whatever. You know, it is what it is. I've got it set up this way for a reason. Just wanted something to cut really, really fast in small hardwood, and as you can see, it flat out gets with it. If you ain't never cut hickory or locust or oak or anything, it's the denser woods are a lot harder to cut. This is a square ground chisel chain on it, 325 pitch, full comp. You can take that for what it's worth, I guess, but a little bit about this saw. I bought this thing, it's probably been over a year ago. I don't really remember how much I gave for it. It was eBay, probably too much, but it did run when I got it here. It was horrible though. Had some of the worst rattle and chatter you've ever heard. I think I even have video making a cut with it where I show the build of it. But we split it down, done the bearings and seals, crankcase gasket. Got what I'd call one of my mild port jobs on it. Put a meteor piston, cable rings. It is the OEM top end. It is an open port cylinder, 46 millimeter, 56 cc's, I think. Basically, same bore and stroke as an MS 290, I guess, or an 029 Super. But this thing will eat either of those saws alive, even in stock form. Open port design. I did case feed transfers on it. Port timing was left stock. Widened the ports a little bit. Done my normal deal. I will add these do have the tonsiled, I guess you guys call it, intake port. Just something Stihl used to do on a lot of their older saws. I don't really think it was for a performance benefit. It was more along the lines of not hanging a ring when they came in, when the rings dropped down into the intake port. But I don't remember if I shown port work on this or not in the video, but I'm sure you could search my channel name and throw 034 in there and come up with something on it. But when I first put it together and we took it up to Dad's, there was a big pine that was on the house up there. I took this thing and cut on it some and some other, I think he'd cut down some old willows or something. And just wasn't too awful impressed with it, but then the rings seated on it and it woke up more than any saw that I've ever done, I guess, and that's going to sound crazy, but this thing just came to life. And take note, I've done a couple MS 360s. Yes, they're more powerful than this, but it's not a lot. But for a 50cc saw in the 50cc class, this thing just flat out gets with it. And I have had a 20 on it before. It doesn't slow it down none at all. I've had it buried in the hardwood. As long as you have a really good sharp chain, doesn't slow down any at all. It's just, an all-around really lightweight, fast-cutting saw. You don't have to have a big long bar on everything. And here we're cutting stumps, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, chain gets duller with every stump we cut. I don't know what it is, but if you're cutting stumps, don't expect your chain to stay short very long. But I don't know how many we cut here, but cut a few. A couple of them I cut down a couple times. And honestly, I need to take a saw with, a different pitch chain, I guess. I'd say something with 404 would be best to do this with, where it wouldn't dull so dang quick. There may be even just a round ground or a ground fouled chain. Like I said, this was chisel bit. It's square ground. I think it's Archer chain on it. I don't really remember. No, I'm wrong. This is a Husqvarna chain on this. I'd ordered with an order. I honestly don't think I've bought an Archer chain in a long time. The last one I bought stretched so bad, and then I had another. The drivers came apart on it. The guy I'd been buying them from off eBay just kind of acted like I was crazy, so not really bought another chain off of them that I can remember. But that said, we got several Archer bars and chains. Some of them I had good luck with, others I didn't, but I've been ordering the Husqvarna chains. I've not had a problem with them. They stretch, but the Oregon VersaCut chain I put on the 200T, it stretched about 5 times before it settled in. So, most chains are going to stretch, especially if you've got, if they're aggressive, if you're cutting hardwood, if you've got a saw that makes any little bit of torque at all, chain's going to stretch, I guess. But completely off topic, I guess, or, maybe it's not. But I'm kind of abusing the shit out of this saw. Chain wasn't completely dull, but it was dull enough. It needed a good touch-up done on it, but I ended up just quitting. I worked my way up the hill toward the stump to that hickory we were cutting on, and I just said, I've had enough, and we called it a day and left. I hadn't really planned on doing much when we went over there anyway, and I honestly grabbed this saw because it was the only thing I had sitting there that was barred up, that was actually sharp, that didn't need sharpened. I don't really care much for falling out in the field, not to say that I don't, but I'd assume just take 2 or 3 saws, and if I dull one, just grab another saw and keep going. But we do sharpen them out in the field or off the bed of the truck or on a stump or something. It is what it is, but as you can see in this, I was just abusing the shit out of this little saw. I like it. I don't think I have a whole lot of money in the whole rebuild. I think the Meteor piston's about the most expensive thing I bought. Like I said, I was able to get it running when I bought it. It was just, it was worn completely out. Sadly enough, it looked like someone had actually been cutting with it in the shape it was in, so, whatever. And we did make a cut with it before we tore it down, but like I said, it was just running horrible, rattly, bearings was shot, seals as hard as rocks, piston worn out worse than anything I'd ever seen, but I guess she was a trooper. She was still getting with it, but I'm thinking we're about done here, so I don't know, it may be time to quit running my mouth. And I've got to work on the kill switch on this. The spring's kind of wore out in it, and it's just super sensitive. I actually think I've got a couple of those springs laying here somewhere. We may get into that one day and just change it out, but honestly, I'll probably run the fuel out of it and set it on a shelf or in the cabinet and swap it out with something else. That's just kind of how I do it. But pretty good combination. You've seen it in the other wood. Up to 30 inches of wood. I guess that 16, she'd put a load of wood on your truck pretty damn quick. Contrary to belief, you don't need a 28-inch bar to cut big wood. If you know what you're doing, you can take a 16-inch bar and, cut 30 inches of wood pretty easy. I've done it. It's just, no secret to it. Anyway, I'm about done here. I'm gonna quit running my mouth. This is probably horrible, and I've been off topic on everything, but got Calvin's 395 on the bench. I got the cylinder back on it. We're gonna button it back up tomorrow evening, and hopefully get you guys a video up with some test cuts with it and get it back home. But as always, you guys stay safe, stay warm, and y'all have a good one.